Hi guys, I just had an idea about what I can film because you often ask me, Svetlana, what would you do in my situation? Which spells would you do if you were in my situation? Would you get a reading first and all that stuff? And I'm not gonna talk about that because it will depend on your situation what I would do, so I can't give a general advice here. Um, but I will talk about what I would do vibration wise. Actually, I will not talk about what I would do vibrational wise. I'm going to talk about the mistakes I have done vibrational wise, just to help you out if you're doing the same mistakes. Because I'm sure that a lot of people are in the beginning, because it can be challenging in the beginning. So, uh, for those of you who don't know, when I was really, really young, like a teenager up to my 20s, I started doing spell work for my exes. So, up until then, when I was younger, I would only do spell work for school and things like that. And then, sometimes if I would have a crush, but I haven't really done spell work to get an ex back. So, up until the age of 15, 16, when I was just a young witch, I never experienced a broken heart, and all the spells that I did would, yeah, all of them would work out because I was always in a good vibration. I was never in a low vibration up until I got my heart broken. So, when I did, obviously my vibration was low, I was needy, I was desperate, I was all of it. And since I was really young, I didn't understand why. I didn't understand why the spells are not working now and they did before, because I didn't realize that it was a vibrational thing, that my vibration is actually different now than it was before. And this is why I'm having a problem with my spells manifesting. So back then, and this was a long time ago, keep in mind that this was like 25 years ago, or even 26, when I started. Yeah. So that was like when I was 15, 26 years ago. Um, so there was internet, but it was just like starting out. We didn't have like all the informations there like we do now. And just in general with witchcraft, and with like vibrations, energies, there were information, don't get me wrong, but it was really hard to get to them and all of that stuff. So yeah, like I said, I didn't understand what was the difference now. Everything worked for me always. Why isn't this working? So, as you know, when I was really young, I have created my skull spells, inspired with hoodoo. And I was doing those, I was doing a bunch of spells, and my ex at the time, and I want to say that those were more situationships, because those were like really short relationships. I was really young, but I will say that for me, there were relationships. So now when I say situationship, it's from perspective of a grown person, obviously. And, they were considered relationships at that time, for me and those guys, but they weren't really relationships, you know. But, I'm just going to use either of these terms because I just want to make that clear. So, I didn't understand what was wrong now, why I wasn't getting what I wanted. And then, I did get some movement, don't get me wrong. I would get movement, but it would be like really little things and it wouldn't be what I wanted. So, for example, I would keep running into the ex, and I knew it was the spell because it was just bizarre, but nothing was happening. I would run into him, and he wouldn't even say hi to me. I wouldn't say hi, like nothing there. It was pointless. Basically, the spells were trying to bring us together, but he was repulsed by my energy. So with the first one, and I talked about this, I tried for like a year and a half to 2 years. And nothing worked, and I didn't understand why. This is the thing. And what happened was that later on, when I moved on from him and I started seeing someone else, my vibration has gotten high again. So I was just happy. I was in a good mood. I let go of all the resentment. I felt good. I felt like, safe and secure. I was really at a good place. And then the spells finally could work. And then they did work on him, and he came back. And that's how I realized what the change was in me. Because instantly, without any effort, my last spell was done for him, like, I don't know, like 3 months ago before he came back. But I was doing them for like a year and a half before that. With this period, I'm not exactly sure because it was really long ago, but something like that. I know it was really long. And I was like thinking, okay, now he's back and he's actually chasing me, because I was not interested anymore. He was chasing me. And I was like, what happened? And then, he even told me that he was thinking about me all the time, that he couldn't get me out of his head. And he was like, but, I just figured it's better to not do anything. And then after 2 years, he does something, which, how is it better to do nothing when it's been just a short period of time? And then when it's been 2 years, it's okay to do something. Do you see? It's because my energy changed. And then I kind of started to realize what happened. So the whole time I was doing the spell work, I was needy, I was desperate, I was obsessed. I was obsessed, guys. I would just be like doing it all the time, like too much, honestly, like a couple of times a day, I think, in the beginning. And I was just like obsessing, I was obsessing. I was thinking about him all the time. And I was also resenting him. I was resenting him a lot. I was very hurt. I was very depressed. I was really like I was triggered basically. And all of my insecurities were triggered. And I was just in such a bad place. I was in victim mentality totally. Like I would go to the gym and I would cry there, because I couldn't take my mind off it. Whatever I was doing, I couldn't take my mind off it. I was just obsessed the whole time. And then I realized all of those stuff, and I kind of started researching. And, back then, like I said, there weren't so many information. So I even got to a course in the energy, how energy works. And I found some books and all sorts of stuff, and then it all sort of came together. Not fully like it did now, like I'm telling you now. There were still like, it wasn't as profound. I didn't study yet. I was younger. I didn't study psychology yet. I didn't realize triggers, how they work, attachment styles, everything. But I did realize the stuff about needy and desperate energy and how energy works. So that was the beginning, how I kind of realized what the issue was. And then after that, in a couple of years after that, I've also figured out the triggers that we need to work on, what triggers us, that we need to be safe and secure, that we really need to work on limiting beliefs. All of those stuff kind of came later on. And it was trial and error. I basically learned these things from my own mistakes. And they were already out there. There were already facts in the magical world, but I didn't know them. I didn't see that. I didn't read that up until that point. So what I am giving you is from my experience as well, not just my clients, and I know it works. It's very, very important to get out of that victim mentality. And I know it's hard. This is why we have the meditations that help a ton. I didn't have meditations back then, so it was a harder process. Like I said, the first one it just went naturally when I actually just normalized my emotions and everything when I moved on. And then, with time, I kind of learned to kind of master these things. And so can you. Everybody can, by the way. Every single person can. Uh, so if you are thinking, but I can't do it, but it's so hard, but I will never stop obsessing, this is not true. You can do it. Everybody can do it. I'm no better than you. People in the review section are no better than you. We are all the same. If they can do it, you can do it. It's not like it's, I don't know, an Olympic sport. And, some people are better than others. Not at all. Everybody can do it. Everybody can do it. You just need guidance. You just need to know what you need to do. And you need to actually do the work, and you need to like really, really, really do the work. And that's it. That's it. That's the secret to your vibration. Anyways, I hope this helps. Bye, guys.